a self-sacrificing sword that kills whoever uses it, or a guaranteed win condition that kills its user but promises perfect adaptation. With two self-sacrificing abilities, this turns from a battle of strength to a battle of resolve. So who is pressing the self-destruct button first? While Shunguang has access to mystic sword techniques, Megumi is an experienced sorcerer on his own too, with the 10 shadows giving him mobility and firepower, with all these abilities being heavily amplified by his domain expansion, a technique stated to boost Megumi to 120% of his combat potential. But here's where things get shaky. While he has good abilities in base, his durability is inconsistent, surviving 2.4 tons of force in the Culling games by easily getting sliced by a knife. So why does this happen? Well, all answers lie with different force physics properties. Don't understand? Well, here's a better picture. Take a piece of paper and put it under a few tons. Although it might be rumpled up, it remains intact. But why is that? Well, paper has a high resistance to compressive force, with its unique property spreading compression across itself. But the second I apply a different type of force and cut it, its compressive resistance becomes completely irrelevant, with Megumi being the same way, surviving the crushing force of 2.4 tons, while being easily cut by a comparatively lower shear force. So is Shunguang strong enough to benefit from this advantage? Well, not only does Shunguang benefit from the co-op event upscale, but she has full mastery over mystic sword techniques as well, utilizing sword multiplication in base and amplifying it with the power of the Qingming blade, a sword that sacrifices human senses and memories in exchange for technique amplification, giving Shunguang the edge in destructive ability. But that doesn't mean the matchup is over. After all, Megumi has a kamikaze of his own, Maharaga, a being stated to be able to adapt to any and all phenomenon. Not only did it adapt, see, and react to Sukuna's dismantle and cleave, but it survived Sukuna's domain expansion as well, illustrating not only strong physical resistance, but the ability to learn, react, and apply as well. So how do you beat a being that adapts to everything? Well, chapter 119 already tells us the answer. You see, if you land an attack on Maharaga fatal enough to kill it before it adapts, the fight will end right there and then. So does Shunguang have the firepower needed? While she does have the attack potency to damage Maharaga, the problem comes from how she deals damage. With Maharaga's adaptation adapting to each blade individually, Shunguang can't deal the full damage of the collective sword rain. Even considering recent ZZZ upscales like the lightning deflection feat becoming a collective standard, Maharaga can simply just outlast her. Don't forget, Shunguang's Qingming blade takes a heavy strain on her upon long-term use, a problem Maharaga doesn't share at all. Okay, so if the sword rain doesn't work, why doesn't Shunguang just recreate Yi Zhang's spherical technique? Well, the answer is simple. She can't. You see, Yi Zhang's ability isn't the result of raw Qingming projection, where the Qingming blade actually comes in as the amplification of Yi Zhang's technique. We know this because Yi Zhang never used the collective sword techniques in the same way Shunguang never displayed Yi Zhang's spherical etheric projection. They share the same amplifier, but their foundations are completely different, which leaves Shunguang with one last option, the heaven-rending slash. While my friends and I were unable to agree whether this is a space-tearing feat, Maharaga has proven he can adapt to potent cutting force from the Shibuya incident. It's not like Shunguang is too weak, no, her moveset is simply a bad matchup for it. So does that mean it's over? Well, not quite. You see, presuming Shunguang gets taken out, the Qingming blade's guaranteed destruction could take Maharaga down with it. Don't believe me? Well, let's look at the 2.5 story. You see, when left without a wielder, the Qingming blade releases damage on par with the fall of the old capital, an event that expanded reality distortions, far surpassing the Fuga that destroyed Maharaga in the first place. Nobody is coming out alive. So, what happened? While Shunguang was able to beat Megumi in base, Maharaga's adaptation was the perfect matchup here, resisting the collective rain by adapting to the swords individually. But it was more than just a bad matchup. Shunguang's lack of knowledge was her biggest weakness here. With no knowledge on the Shikigami, the adaptation problem would be completely unpredictable, which just leaves one question left. Why didn't Maharaga just adapt to the kamikaze? Wouldn't he just adapt to ether as a collective? Well, that is admittedly a possibility. We can't guarantee the kamikaze attack holds the same etheric property as the sword multiplication mystic art. Why? Well, we have no idea how the internal calamity described by the Qingming blade actually function, meaning it's impossible to infer that it shares the same properties as her previous physical attacks, meaning there's no way to know whether or not Maharaga would fully adapt. Now that we've drawn a verdict and created some clarity, why did I make this video? Well, I know viewers are tired of hearing hyperbolized outrage and monotonous guide content our community is known for. That's why I created my channel, to not only provide fun, but to uplift academic commentary as well. If you want to escape the boring status quo, just let the algorithm know. Shout out to my Discord boosters and YouTube members. That's about it. Peace out.